Hello everyone, my name is Enrique Wong and I'm your Composition and Rhetoric professor. I'm recording this video with two objectives. In the first place, I would like to give you the welcome tour to the class using one of the weeks as an example of what you need to do every week. I'm using the second week as a model because it's far more complete than week one. In week two, you will find everything you will find all through my course. In the first place, I suppose that at this point you have all read the syllabus of the course. It's important that you read and understand the syllabus because we're going to have a video conference session tomorrow night. And in this video conference, if you have read the syllabus, you'll be able to ask all the questions if you're in doubt after reading the syllabus, and questions that might help you figure out the way you should proceed in my class. Since you already have read the syllabus, I'm going to start right here from the syllabus and content section of your course. The first thing you gotta do every week is come to this section here, the syllabus and contents, and I'm going to be using the second week as an example, as I said. In the first place, you have the planner of the week. In the planner, you have all the information that have been taken from the syllabus. If you check the second week, you realize that you have to read in the description. You have to read the learning object of the second week. That's the first thing you gotta do. The name of the learning object is the writing process, and alongside you're going to be reading from every once another the pages that I always indicate. You have to read for the second week writing processes on pages 75 through 103, and additionally you have to read the pages pertaining to the language corner, which is the language activities that you should be doing every week, and they are taken from a different section from the book. In the second week you have to read the writing processes, as I said, which is the second chapter, and how to write good sentences from pages 675 and 686. Here, after you understand what you have to read, you should go ahead and then do the activities. The activities are described here thoroughly. In the second week, you have to do the first quiz, parallelism in the sentence. This is from the language section, how to write good sentences. You have the first partial test, how to write a thesis statement, and also you have exercises on the thesis statement. Let's start from the language, the learning object. Here in the second week, you have the learning object. The learning object is an interactive object that I wrote for you, and in these objects, I usually introduce the topic, or I invite a professor from the university to introduce the topic. In the second week, you have the introduction, and I invited Professor Mark Putman to make the introduction. Probably you know who he is. He's one of the lead professors from the English department. Here in the second learning object, you have the introductory video, as I said. Then in the different pages, you have information that I have gathered for you and I have collected and written in order to introduce the topic myself. The second week is the writing process, and then we're going to be walking through the whole process from generating ideas, reading material, then generating your ideas using a pre-writing technique, up to organizing the ideas, and then getting to the other stages in this early process. In this learning object, you have videos that you need to watch while reading the chapter from Andrea Langford, the textbook that is mandatory that you have during these 8 weeks. In the different pages, you have all relation to the content that we are studying. So it's important that the first thing that you do after you have understood the planner of the week is to read the learning object, and then once you're done with the learning object, you should go ahead and study the contents from the book. I'm going to go back to the planner again to see what you need to do during the week. In this second week, you have the topics: understanding and managing writing processes, understanding and using pre-writing techniques, understanding and writing clear thesis statements, and understanding the role of collaboration in writing. If you check over here in the activities, we have the quizzes. Although the name is a quiz, this is not a real quiz. These are exercises that in most of the cases you have multiple attempts. You have more than one attempt. And I suggest that once you do these exercises online, you wait for some time, you think about the result, because you're going to get the result in terms of numbers, but not feedback until the end of a week. And then you should take a second attempt or a third attempt, depending on the results that you've gotten. Let's check the first quiz, for example. You gotta come over here to the quizzes area, and you have the different quizzes. You have the first. In the second week, you have the quiz 1, quiz 2, and quiz 3. Parallelism in the sentence, the first partial test, which is programmed for the 26th of January, and you have the third quiz, which is on thesis statement. So if you come over here, I'm going to take a preview for you to see what you're going to be expecting. As I said before, you have more than one attempt. In this case, in the first one, you have 3 possible attempts. So you should complete the 3, because the system is going to choose the best grade that you have obtained. So here, as an example, I'm supposedly taking the first quiz for you to see what you're going to be finding. You have here a multiple choice activity, and then you have 19 questions in total. As I said, once you finish the exercise, you will get the result in terms of numbers. For example, 17 out of 19, that would be a possible score. You would get the score, but not the feedback. You will receive the feedback once you finish the week. Going back to the syllabus and contents now, you have over here in the planner the other activities that you have to complete. You have to, after you have studied the language corner part, how to write good sentences, you should do the self-assessment online. What do you need to do with the self-assessment? The self-assessments appear over here under the Otros link, and here you have the self-assessment or autoevaluaciones if you have it in Spanish. An example here is I'm going to check the preview option again, and then you see what you would be receiving. For example, you click on the answer, the possible answer that you choose, and I have programmed the system to give you the feedback right away. This is important because this is directly connected to the contents that we are studying during the week, and this is going to help you review what you have studied. Once you have taken all these online quizzes, these self-assessment quizzes in which you have evaluated your performance, you need to keep a record of the performance. It's important that you